Hi, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to be learning to paint a bellflower, and I'm going to sit outdoors and I'm going to paint this beautiful flower today. So I'm going to be using a masking fluid. If you haven't used this one before, it's very similar to using masking tape. The only difference is it's in a liquid format, and this particular one that I have is by Vincent & Newton, and I've used a yellow shade. So there are different shades of masking fluid that come, and that's the image that I'm going to be painting. The first thing I'm going to do is just draw it out very lightly. So this is going to be a real-time video because I would like you guys to paint along with me and to create this beautiful flower along. I'm using a 300 GSM watercolor block. This prevents the paper from buckling, and generally when I'm outdoors or during plein air painting, it's really easy to use this. It's much more comfortable as compared to the regular paper. So I'm just erasing the things that I don't need, and I've still drawn it pretty dark as compared to what I would have done in general because I want to show the video. Now comes to opening the masking fluid box. So you will notice that this has a child lock. So it shows you how you're supposed to hold down your thumb and then rotate the particular bottle. So if you just keep rotating normally, it will just rotate, it's not going to open. So you have to press down on the top and then you will have to just rotate it. So normally your masking fluid will dry out, so be a little careful. If you have to close it, immediately close it, or just use a little bit of it in a small ceramic bowl or onto your palette, and then make sure that the main box or the container that is there is always closed. So I'm going to now apply a little bit of masking fluid in the areas that I want to be white. We will be painting a little bit of pink on it later, but initially, because the background I want that to be in a different color and I want to use pink on the rest of the flower, I don't want everything to become too pink or merge with each other. So we're going to learn how to use masking fluid to our advantage. So you can add a slightly thicker layer. Once it dries, you can peel it off. So I'll show you today how to do that. After applying your masking fluid, two things. One is to make sure that it is completely dry. You can touch it a little bit, but then ideally leave it for a couple of minutes so it's dry. Also wash your brush very thoroughly, otherwise the masking fluid stays on it and sometimes it may damage your brush. So this is my setup right now. I am going to first mix a little bit of green to add around the flower. I'm using a Tropicals palette by Art Philosophy, and you can see what technique I use. I just mix all the greens together to create a beautiful green. Since I'm pretty used to this, I am going about it without a swatch, but please make sure that you use a swatch before you paint. So you will notice that wherever the paint is going on top of the masking fluid, it does not go through it. So it is almost like there's a plastic layer on top, and it just like hangs on it like droplets. So you can actually take them off. You can use a tissue to dab over it or just leave it like that, and when you're peeling it off it will come out, but make sure that you remove it from there. Sometimes what happens is if it's still lying over there and you're trying to remove the masking fluid, the green may get stuck to your hand or to your fingers and it will come on the base where you don't really want the green to be. So I've used not a very flowy green. I want it to be like a nice beautiful color. It's a little dark. Now I'm using a little bit of water to make sure that the edges are not too sharp, so it looks like it's like an ombre color, so darker in the inside, and as it goes outside it becomes a little lighter. You wait for the background to dry, and now that it's dry, I am going to mix a little bit of pink. So you can take carmine, you can take your crimson and take a very light version of it, and looking at the image, I'm going to add it in the areas where a little bit of color is required. Wherever there is a white gap over there or the color is too light, I'm just going to leave a little bit of white space. Build up your colors. Do not add in dark colors immediately. That's the only way that you will be able to create a very beautiful detailed painting. At least like a couple of layers are necessary. Go a little slow and you'll be able to find a beautiful final flower. These paintings may seem intimidating in the beginning. In case you do a small mistake, it may seem like you cannot fix it at all, but that's fine. It's just going to give you a slightly different end result, but each artist has their own style, so don't get disheartened by it. Add as many layers as you think is necessary. If your base layer has dried and it's not merging as it is merging for me, so you just have to use a little bit of water and then merge them. Once you're satisfied with the basic amount of layers you've created, you can just wait for your painting to dry so that you can remove your masking fluid. Removing the masking fluid is very therapeutic. All you need to do is just roll it out. You just have to take your fingers, roll it on top of the masking fluid, find out any one area where it's coming off or peeling off from, and then just take the colors off. You can even remove the specks of green. You can see the green color is still there. It does not go through, so you can even use a tissue. I left it over there so you can see that it is still there. Just make sure that your fingers and your hands are completely clean when you're removing the masking fluid off. So you can add a pretty thick layer so it's easier for you to peel it off. And when you remove the entire masking fluid, you can see how beautiful your painting looks. So tons of ideas may be coming to your mind right now of what you can create with it. So I'm now going to create very nice light lines of rose pink to finish my flower. You can go over your earlier layers and add in all the tiny details that are required right now, and leave enough space of white if required. If you feel like you like the entire thing with the white space, let it be. And if you think that you don't want any white space to be there, you just want to add a little bit of light rose color, you can still do that. I'm going to add slightly darker pink or a darker rose to add some finishing touches to my painting. I hope you enjoyed today's painting, and I want you to create the same thing. And if you're creating this, then do tag me on Instagram so I can see your painting. And if you're new over here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I put up a new video. The beauty of watercolors is in the details. The more number of layers that you add, the more beautiful it looks and it starts coming to life. We'll add a little bit of green to the end of the flower, like the bud, and we'll try and finish this painting. This is what the painting looks like so far. I love how it is. I'm going to add some more details right now. We'll take a little bit of sap green mixed with some yellow and add some strokes with a very thin brush. So you can use a size 0 or a 00 brush for this. Using some water, you can just drag the colors out so it blends in with the rest of it. With that, we are done, and this is what the final painting looks like. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, do leave your comments over here, and I'll see you in the next one.